how to do Samurai Jack Modern Edition for the drop fade, my friend. First, my friend, we grab our machine, yeah, and then we make our guideline. Yeah. Just kidding. First, we grab our guideline, guys, and pardon me, I'm trying to recover from how I was sounding. But anyways, yeah, just grading my guideline. Drop fade, I would call this. I would call this a regular drop fade. I didn't take it too low. I know there's some low fades out there that are really low. Basically like tapers, basically. That's how it ends up looking. I've seen a lot of the guys in the shop, they start to change it up a little bit, and they drop it like just really low. Personally, am I a fan of it? Me, no, I wouldn't get that haircut. I don't think it's that great looking. I like something more like this, or yeah, pretty much just like this is my favorite, my go-to if I do get a drop fade. But yeah, you kind of have like even your different levels with the low fades. I mean, you can cut hair so many different ways, so many different styles and techniques you can go about it. And it just goes back to the whole idea of being an artist and making it pretty much the hair being the canvas and your machines being your paintbrushes. You just kind of be creative. So first I created my guideline with the 5/0, which is basically your trimmers or liners. Now I have the Andes full shavers, balding it out. Now right before I get to the guideline, I start to tap it. I don't want it to be such a hard line there, especially with these full shavers. When you start out with these things, it could be a little difficult. It could be a little hard trying to figure it out and how to go about it. And you know, everyone's hair is different. Everyone's head is different. It doesn't all cut the same. I mean, you can cut the hair. I mean, you can cut any hair, but when it comes to these particular haircuts and fading and blending, it could be a little more difficult. Dealing with different hair types. So yeah, I've been using the towel more than any other brush or anything like that. I think it works better. It keeps it cleaner. Not every towel is like the same too. I don't know. There's certain towels that I like that we have at the shop here, and that I like to use. Keeps it cleaner. That way I know, I can see where you're going. And make sure you know where you're heading, what you're looking at. Move the client around and just figure it out. Get in there and make sure you know what you're doing, and that you're just cutting a miss or whatever, not just cutting just to cut, but cutting with an intention. You see I switched it around to here, how I switched to false shavers, depending on the angle and things like that around the ear. You can't really, I guess, use both at the same time around the ear. You can, but even the other angle, the top part is a little easier. There I go again, like dabbing it, tapping it, and blending it in. Taking my time and making sure I get in there. Yeah, we're not taking anything off the top of his head. This kid has some pretty thick hair. You can even tell like his hair on top is just like really heavy. Just a lot of hair. Now I did do his beard and like his goatee that he has, but I didn't get to. I didn't know until the last minute that he wanted to do it. Next I grabbed my 5/0 again. I'm going up just a little bit, maybe a centimeter or two, and just making the blend nice and easy. Well, not nice and easy, but just blending it in. This is basically my next step. Some people don't do this, some people do. I mean, everyone cuts differently, right? But yeah, just getting around it. You know, as you go, as you gain experience, and you'll get more comfortable with your tools, and you know, knowing where to go, and you know, you'll have your setup, you'll have your ways to go about any particular haircut. For example, you know, say this was a different type of hair texture, a different type of head, I would do the same exact thing, but I may have to take it up higher. I may have to go lower, depending on how thick, how much hair density this person has. You know, the lighter the hair, the lighter it's going to look, the fade. So sometimes when it's lighter, you actually have to take it lower and don't cut as high to keep that blend nice and clean. To do that particular haircut for different people. Just coming back and getting the line out, tapping it in again. Fading it in. Making sure that these corners, I don't leave anything dark. And get in front of the client. Be in control of the haircut. Next, I got the masters open. Taking it up maybe about an inch. This is probably the most. What I was doing right now, and then this right here is probably one of the most difficult parts of the haircut, I think. After this, everything else kind of blends a little easier. It's the tight blends that are the most difficult, I believe, when it comes to blending out the hair. Like I said, with experience, you'll get it, and with time, it'll just come together. Make sure you keep your tools nice and cool and clean. You don't want anyone coming back to you saying you messed them up, or you know they caught something because of you being so unclean. Wash your combs, do all the things that you need to do to remain in business. Use cool care, use whatever you like to use. Next, I got the masters closed. I'm blending it out. Just taking my time, you know, letting the machine do the work. Not trying to force nothing. Don't be afraid to take it a little higher. You know, even though I had the masters open, I may go really close, like about halfway. Even though I had it all the way open, I may go a little higher with the lower notches. I hope that makes sense. And that's how you get your blend out. Is you know, you get in there and you cut it. Don't be afraid to go a little higher, but keep your you know, remember your guideline and remember where you're at. For some people out there, this may not be a low fade. This may be like actually, I don't know, a different fade. Maybe a high fade. I don't know, a high or low fade. I don't know. There's so many ways. Again, like I said, you can do this depending on the client. Sometimes they know, sometimes they don't know the difference. Really, it's really the barbers who know the big difference. The majority of the time, the clients just see the front of their head. They don't see the back. They don't really pay attention to the back, but a lot of them do too. Some of them, you know, they don't care. As long as the front is looking good, they're good to go. Got the 5/0 and just making sure I'm getting the blend in nice and clean. Checking my work. His hair cut pretty easy, pretty much chopped right off as soon as you got in there, so it wasn't that hard to grab. There's some clients with hair that's just really close to the skin, and you can be there for a while. You think it's gonna be an easy haircut, an easy fade, but sometimes it's just like you gotta spend time and you gotta not be so fast when you're moving the clippers up and down like I am now. Next, this is an all blade fade haircut. Next I have the 1A. Going up a little bit more. And keeping that C motion, keeping it curved, not making a very hard line where it's like, you know, completely different, or it's completely two different levels, but there is a slight ramp, I guess, if you are a curve on the hair. Tape, slight taper. Next I grab the Masters Open and blending in, you would call this a number 1 blade to the 1A. The Masters Open are basically the number 1 blade. The 1 blade may be a little longer, but not by much, if any. You can tell the blend's coming together pretty nicely. Next I got the 1.5 blade. And every time I make a new guideline, I come back and go right underneath where I was, my new guideline, and use what I just used prior. I like the blades because they keep it really simple, just about in every haircut. But again, some different type of people have different hair textures, so you may have to use different techniques. You may have to combine guards and blades, all depending on what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish. Grabbing the 1A here, switch to blades, fading that in nice and easy. You can tell it's coming together pretty nicely. Next I got the number 2, getting the top of his head out of the way, taking that up to the crown. That fade's already pretty much it. That's pretty much the fade. That's pretty much the majority of the haircut right here. And getting that fade down and everything else is pretty, I would say, easy for the most part, depending on your skill level. But once I get this out the way, everything is pretty much downhill. It's an honor to give my boy, my buddy here, Samurai Jack, a nice drop fade. I get this guy's a regular too. He comes to the shop often. And you know, some haircuts, some guys, they like to shave the front. It seems like he regularly gets this shave in the front and for his lining. Some people don't. Some people keep it natural. There's different ways you can go about the front lining. You can shave it in a little bit. You can keep it natural, or you just, you know, you can keep it natural but still line it up, clean it up. There's so many ways you can go about it, but you always want the haircut to blend into the head really nicely. Next I got my Slimline Pros, getting in there and lining, boxing it out. Got quite a bit of hair, and I was doing my best to try to keep it straight. It may look a little crooked, but I did go in there afterwards, and you'll see at the end the final outcome. And when you're doing the lining in the front, make sure you look at it from all angles. You know, with his hair, you know, the way it's shaven in the front, If you just left that natural, it would look really weird. Probably it wouldn't look good at all. But with the shape up with the box, with the lining, it really comes together. Corners here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get some new liners because these I dropped them too many times, and the cable that it came with doesn't keep a charge. I just need a new pair. Next, I got some shave gel, some Elegance shave gel. Before this, I was using 245. Both of them do pretty good. Sometimes I just even use water depending on how thick the hair is. And with the blade, you can see you can tell I have a really soft touch. I'm not really going very hard on the hair or the head, trying to scratch them up or anything. Nice and easy. That's pretty much it, guys. You can see the outcome here at the end. I did around the edges here. I do a little work off camera, but for the most part, this is the haircut. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, share, and thank you very much.